Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patki and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to take a look at the squad that the Pakistan Cricket Board has announced for the upcoming T20 World Cup, which is going to take place in Australia. And I would like to give my introduction to some of the Pakistani fans. Hello friends, my name is Chaitanya Patki and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am actually from India, a town called Nasik in Maharashtra. My passion is covering cricket. Most probably I cover the matches of my beloved Indian cricket team as well as the IPL, but now I have decided to expand my footprint and uh, cover the matches of Pakistan cricket team, Australian cricket team and all the cricket teams around the world as and when I get time. I have watched that in my previous Asia Cup analysis many of the viewers are from Pakistan through YouTube analytics, so I will try to cover the Pakistani squad as well with just an intent to from a journalistic point of view. No unnecessary hate, no unnecessary trolling, but just pure content. And I'm sure you will subscribe to my channel and please give your valuable feedback in the comment section. I will definitely look into it and looking forward to our interactions in the coming few days. Captain has been announced Babar Azam, which was on expected lines. Shadab Khan has been named as the vice captain. That was also expected. Haider Ali has been included, as we know that Haider Ali travelled with the Pakistani squad in the Asia Cup 2022, but unfortunately couldn't get selected. The selectors preferred Khushbil Shah, and though he didn't perform up to his potential. So there is an opening for either Ali, but it is a condition that he gets some chances. Asif Ali has been selected after a disastrous outing in the Asia Cup. Didn't have the best of the tournament, but as we know that he said that he practices 100 to 156 per daily. If only Pakistan can get 20-30% of his potential, then he can be a game changer because he is talented. There has been a lot of criticism on the selection of Asif Ali and Khushbil Shah, and many Pakistani experts are saying that they are favorites of Babar Azam, and favoritism is still prevalent despite the fact that Babar Azam has promised something very different when his captaincy began. So there is a lot of speculation, lot of controversy, and a lot of cricket experts in Pakistan have a view that this team will not go far in the T20 World Cup, but we'll see how it goes. It is Pakistan cricket team, you never know when they are going to surprise you. So Haris Rauf, the premier fast bowler, has been selected as well. uh, Iftikhar Ahmed and Khushdil Shah are selected. Now there was a lot of speculation on Iftikhar Ahmed as well. Many people were referring that his strike rate is not appropriate in the middle overs. The current trend is going, so it is not likely that Iftikhar Ahmed should have been selected. Mohammad Hasnain has been named in the squad as well. He impressed one and all with his pace, but he has to work on his line and length because speed is a two-way sword. When it is your way, it is your day, and when it doesn't go your way, then you leak runs at 10 and a half per over. Although he will perform well as compared to the Asia Cup because pitches in Australia are very spicy and he will get a great bounce. Condition to what I said, that his line should be towards the batsman and he shouldn't waver too much in his length. Mohammad Nawaz has been selected on the back of the stellar performance against India and Sri Lanka in the Asia Cup. He is a good addition, and I think that selectors are overlooking Imad Wasim, and I won't say that they have moved on past him, but it has become very difficult for him to break into the side now. Mohammad Rizwan has been selected. As we know that his approach has been put under question by many experts because he consumes a lot of deliveries till the 13th and 14th over. There is no denying his talent or his quality or his effort or determination, but it isn't appropriate for Pakistan in the longer run. Mohammad Wasim Jr. has been selected. He missed out of the Asia Cup campaign due to a strain injury. Shaheen Shah Afridi, that is the biggest development, has been named in the Pakistani squad as well, subject to fitness clearances from the doctor in London. He is a vital cog in the wheel for Pakistan, and we know that he can swing the ball both ways, can bowl at 145 kilometers per hour plus, and Pakistani selectors have made a conscious decision not to select him in the 7-match T20 international series against England, which is good because I think he needs more rest and recuperation. And although he will be game rusty, Pakistani management can be looking to try him in other practice matches which are going to happen before the World Cup against Afghanistan and the other team which Pakistan is going to face. Shan Masood has been selected on the back of brilliant performances in the national T20 club. Chief selector Mohammad Wasim also gave the reason that he has been consistently performing well in red ball and white ball cricket, so he has been rewarded. And the biggest casualty has been Fakhar Zaman. I think it had been coming. Fakhar also knew that he didn't perform up to his potential in the Asia Cup. Too many soft dismissals and just a single half century against Hong Kong, that too 53 of 41 deliveries. With all due respect to Hong Kong, he should have scored at a quicker pace, but when it mattered the most against Pakistan and Sri Lanka, his bat didn't fire. He's throwing his bat outside the off stump. There is no timing at all, and he was struggling very badly in the Asia Cup at number 3. His game against Pirans also needs much improvement, although his game against the fast bowlers is world class, as we know that. And Usman Qadir is the final player which is selected, the leggy. It is the only leg spinner in the squad. It is mandatory to have a leg spinner of any kind in the T20 side nowadays, be it franchise cricket, be it international cricket, and Usman Qadir fits the bill perfectly. Although he just bowled in one match in the Asia Cup against Sri Lanka, didn't bowl well, but he got a wicket, and he just troubled Sri Lankan batsmen with couple of magnificent deliveries. So it is a question of consistency for him. Whether Pakistani management will give him game time in the warm-up games, it remains to be seen. But he has impressed one and all in the Big Bash League in the previous years, and more will be expected for him if he gets selected in the playing 11. Reserves are Fakhar Zaman, who has been banished to the reserves, as we say that he is not a squad of the 15 members as well. Mohammad Haris, the wicketkeeper, and now the selection of Mohammad Haris also puts an end to the career of Sarfaraz Ahmed for Pakistan, as we know that the selectors are looking to groom the new blood, and Sarfaraz doesn't fit the bill, unfortunately. Shah Nawaz Dhani has also been selected, who made his debut in the Asia Cup recently and impressed one and all with his pace. So I think the group has talent, but a lot of deserving players were ignored, and the criticism is valid, I think, because Khushdil Shah and Iftikhar Ahmed haven't performed up to their potential at all in the Asia Cup, and not only in the Asia Cup but in also the preceding matches. We know that their quality is very much there. In PSL, they have played some magnificent innings for the respective franchises down the order and set the PSL stage alight. But we have to take into consideration the difference between PSL and other international teams, and many opportunities were given to Khushdil Shah, Iftikhar Ahmed, as well as Asif Ali. You can remember the Super 4 game against Sri Lanka, the final against Sri Lanka as well, and they have all got out in a similar pattern, not picking up spin very well. They need to work on the basics to pick whether it is the googly or the flipper from the hand instead of reading it from the pitch. The mode of dismissal of Asif Ali in both the Super 4 games and the final against Sri Lanka was very similar, and it is a very disturbing pattern that and from the instance that he walks into the crease, he doesn't even take 2 or 3 deliveries, as we saw in the 2021 T20 World Cup when he took some time to get himself in and then unleash the big shots. Nowadays he's trying to play with a horizontal bat, cross-batted hoiks, which doesn't work, and he's clearly not picking up the line of the delivery, which is essential while tackling a spinner. He doesn't use his feet pretty much as well. So lots of problem, but it is what it is. Now this team has to work hard. I do not see this team qualifying in the next stage. With all due respect, I think in our group Sri Lanka will qualify from the qualifiers which are going to take place. South Africa is there, India is there, and Pakistan is there. I'm not as an Indian, don't get me wrong, but by the overall analysis, I think India and South Africa will progress. But you can never count out Pakistan. They will bite you in the back when you least expect it. So on paper, unfortunately, they don't seem to qualify from the group, but on their day they can be a handful to anyone. So how did you like my analysis of this video? Please tell in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everyone, bye, and once again please requesting to subscribe to my channel.